we're really excited because we're jumping into a brand new season here at Renfrew Museum and Park. It's going to be our 46th operating season, and opening day is April 10th. We'll tell you about that in just a little bit. But again, my name is Becky LaBarre. I'm the executive director and I serve as CEO for Renfrew Committee, Inc. And just, I know a lot of you are familiar with Renfrew, some of you may be new, and then as a refresher, I just wanted to go over our mission, vision, and values very quickly with you, because that is the skeleton and the framework that props up our organization, and everything we do relates back to our mission. So our mission here at Renfrew Museum and Park is to preserve, enhance, promote, and interpret the Royer family Pennsylvania German farmstead, the Nicodemus and Bell collections, and the surrounding park. Our vision is to be a welcoming and memorable destination where everyone can walk back in time. And our institutional values are integrity, authenticity, and excellence. And serving as Renfrew's executive director for the last 2 years, I'm really appreciative that the folks who put these values in writing before my arrival did that, because it's a really nice standard to be able to look back and say, is the activity we're planning in alignment with these values? Just some of the things that we have to offer at Renfrew. We are a museum as well as a park. We offer museum and historic farmstead tours. We have trails, the Little Antietam Creek, and other park amenities for folks to enjoy. We offer special events and programs throughout the year. We have an exceptional collection of artifacts and an archive here, thanks to our founder, Emma Geiser Nicodemus, and all the work that folks have been doing at Renfrew for the past almost 46 years. And then we're a community gathering place. And I think that's how most people find Renfrew. I like to say that we're Waynesboro's backyard. We have folks from the immediate community that come and gather for all sorts of occasions, just, you know, family picnics, walking the dog, or for large life events like weddings and baby showers and even memorials, that we do have a memorial tree program here at Renfrew. So just a sampling of what we offer, and we're gonna go through some things that we have coming up for 2021. Museum and farmstead tours. So most folks have been on a tour of the museum house. We have expanded now beyond just the Royer house to the entire Royer farmstead. So when you come to visit Renfrew on a regular tour day, which we're open for tours April through October, we offer them on the hour at 1, 2, and 3 p.m. You're gonna get an hour-long experience that includes our visitors center, the Royer outbuildings on the front farmstead, and the museum house. So door to door, it's an hour. You're gonna see a lot of things, you're gonna learn a lot of things, and we encourage folks to have repeat visitation, because you're not gonna catch everything on your first trip through. And it really depends on who's taking you through, because a lot of our docents have a variety of interests and expertise, and you're always gonna learn something a little bit different on a farmstead tour. We're also working on refreshing our interpretive experiences, especially in our exhibit galleries. One thing that staff has identified that we want to work on is providing a little bit of context for what you're seeing as you're walking through our galleries. We have an incredible collection of John Bell and Bell family pottery with not a lot of written interpretation to accompany it for self-guiding. So that's something we want to work on here. And then also we have exhibits in the museum house that we're looking to refresh a little bit, especially our Snow Hill collection, which is an incredible repository of artifacts, very unique to Renfrew and to our area here in Franklin County. And again, nothing really to help with self-guiding. It all comes from your docent right now. So we're trying to contextualize that with images and a little bit of exhibit panel text. Also this year and in future years coming down the pike, we are looking to increase access to the fauna stock farmhouse, barn, and the historic outbuildings. That you're going to see that this season when you come visit Renfrew. We want to give our visitors more access to those incredible vernacular structures. Renfrew is really unique, especially somebody like me from the historic preservation background and community. We just want people to be able to get into those buildings. And in the past, the museum house has really been the main point of contact. And as a staff and as an institution, we're looking to open up a little bit more in terms of getting folks inside buildings. You're also going to be having more regular encounters with living history interpreters, and they'll be sharing period lifeways and craft demonstrations with guests. Right now, this is going to be during our special events. Occasionally, there might be some one-off experiences throughout the season, but more and more sort of coming back to that living history aspect that's in our strategic plan. That's something that our board is very interested in building here at Renfrew, in addition to all the wonderful park amenities that we have that we'll talk about and our standard farmstead tour. And then a large thing that we're working on right now is developing our historic foodways program. And those of you who receive our notifications, our newsletter, I'll give a plug for Der Wetterhahn. If you haven't picked up our winter newsletter, make sure you get a copy. The April issue will be out a little bit. But we are really interested in pulling back to our agricultural roots. We were a farm for almost 300 years here on our property. And so historic foodways, heirloom gardening, historic cooking is something that's becoming a focus here at Renfrew that we're really interested in becoming well known for. A lot of our folks are introduced to Renfrew through the wonderful park amenities that we have here. So what's new out in the park? Phase 1 of the George Buckey Trail was opened in September of 2019. That's the new paved path that connects us from all the way from Memorial Park past the schools onto the Renfrew property. And phase 2 was supposed to be completed last year, but obviously with COVID, we're behind schedule. But the borough will be working on that wonderful project this year. And so that whole connection will take place. And that's part of the Franklin County plan to create bikeways that connect different parks and recreational areas throughout the county. And so we're really excited about that. Bicycles, you may not know this, bicycles are permitted on this trail and other paved and gravel trails at Renfrew. Previously, bikes weren't, but we do encourage folks to ride their bike on the Buckey Trail. We just ask that you walk it if you're coming through kind of more populated areas of the farmstead, and just be considerate of pedestrians. Another initiative that we're looking for here at Renfrew in terms of park amenities is increasing the lighting within the park. We are a dawn till dusk facility, but we're hoping to extend some of our programming into the evening. And right now, if any of you have been here after dark, it is really dark. So we're hoping to eventually be able to purchase some cast iron heritage lighting poles for our parking lot, our visitor center walkways, and the picnic pathway trail to connect the Welty lot through the front farmstead to the visitor center and that parking lot up there, just to expand the amount of time that folks are able to be in the park safely and some experiences that we can offer. We do have a gift shop here at Renfrew Museum and Park. It is in our visitor center, and right now it's open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. And when we are open for our regular season, it's going to be open Tuesday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Saturday, 1 to 4. And there's been some major overhaul happening in the gift shop. We, again, are very interested in locally made, produced things, stuff that relates back to our mission, agriculturally based things. So you're going to see when you come into our gift shop some really neat farmstead themed items, but also apparel, handmade items. We are an exclusive vendor of Charlie Bell reproductions. So when you come and see our collection of Bell family pottery from the Strasburg, Virginia shop, you're going to be able to purchase some examples of that are made by a Bell family descendant. And we're the only place that Charlie Bell allows to sell his stuff. So that's really exciting. We just had a trip down to his studio, and you can see pictures of that on our Facebook page. But the gift shop is a component that we really want to make sure relates to the park, to our interpretation here. And so it changes seasonally all the time. We're getting in new stuff. So make sure you come by and visit our gift shop if you have a chance. We also will be taking our gift shop on the road to various things, and we'll talk about that in our slide on Renfrew on the road. But the main event, what I want to share with you guys today, is Renfrew's 46th opening day, which is Saturday, April 10th from 10 to 4. We've extended the day by an hour. Generally, it was 11 to 4 p.m., but we have so much good stuff that we want you to participate in that we added one more hour to the event. So this is free. This is a free community event. We're inviting everybody to come and celebrate spring with us at Renfrew, walk back in time. We have our museum and farmstead tour. It's going to be an abbreviated tour for opening day. You'll tour the first floor of the museum house, but then you're going to be going into all of our outbuildings on the Royer farmstead. We also encourage everybody to explore and enjoy the heirloom gardens, the Young Cheatham Creek, and all the beautiful springtime color on the property. We'll have a family fun area that has crafts and activities for all ages. We'll have our favorite faux milk cows. You can see those down at the lower portion of my screen there, where kids can get underneath and pump water out of the udders of those plywood cows. It's a lot of fun. We have some crafts and we have photo boards, so a lot of cool stuff for families to do. We also have horse-drawn wagon rides. The Lindsay Carbaugh family is going to take groups up and down Faunastock Lane. We do ask that folks wear their masks when they're on the wagon ride, and in any areas, we'll have it labeled, but in any areas where we're going to be coming together in close proximity, we are going to require masks, but otherwise, you know, it's up to you on the farmstead if you want to do that. Living history demonstrations. Again, we are moving more towards interpretation on our property. And so we're going to have some historic hearth cooking going on that day. We have a volunteer who's going to be demonstrating historic laundry, and folks can get their hands in the water and work the scrub boards if they want to. We'll have a period tailor, a blacksmith. We have somebody doing historic fly fishing demonstration. We do allow fly fishing at Renfrew, catch and release. So bring your pole if you want to join in with our interpreter, and somebody's going to be making bandboxes also. A large aspect of opening day has always been Becky Dietrich's art show. And as many of you know, we lost Becky in 2019. So this will be the memorial show that her family's putting on especially for Renfrew. It's going to showcase a selection of her work. And in addition to that, we will have a live musical performance 2 times at 12 o'clock and 1:30 by her very good friend and performer Jenny Avila. And then if you get hungry throughout the day, Keystone Family Restaurant's going to have their food truck on site. So lots to do, free event. Please come and join us, bring the family. It'll be a lot of fun. Something new that we're offering starting up right after opening day is our Terrific Tuesdays program. This is a new, almost weekly program for families. It's recommended for kids ages 6 through 13, but we do encourage families to bring their little ones or older ones, even children with some special needs, because we want families to be able to come to Renfrew and learn some really cool stuff. So if you take a look at our website at renfrewmuseum.org/Terrific Tuesdays, we list out all the different activities that we're having. And each one of these activities are going to be inspired by either our landscape, our history, our collections, and families are going to get to see the artifacts up close and then do an activity that's inspired by those particular artifacts. So we've got things like needlework. We've got things like there'll be sponge painting bisque vases. They'll learn about historic spatterware, all kinds of things. And the full listing is on our website. So I won't go into that now, but take a look at that. Something else that's new this year in 2021 is our Historic Site Spotlight series. And this was birthed out of kind of the challenges that historic sites are experiencing in the wake of the pandemic. Obviously, historic sites like Renfrew really count on visitation from people. We want people to come and experience our unique site. And we've been really fortunate because we have an incredible amount of property. We're able to let people spread out, and the pandemic didn't really affect us too much in terms of programming last year. But for a lot of our colleagues in the field, it did. And so this is an opportunity, even for our visitors who aren't necessarily comfortable going and exploring historic sites, to get a taste of what's happening in our industry. So right now we've got one under our belt. First site we visited was back in March. It was the Washington County Historical Society with their curator, Brett Peters. They have a large collection of Bell family pottery, and so that's kind of our connection to them. Each subsequent site is going to have some kind of relationship to Renfrew. It might be the time period. It might be the architecture, the artifacts. So we're going to be traveling virtually to historic Smithfield in Blacksburg, Virginia next. We'll visit Rose Hill Manor. And we will be going Garfield Farm Museum in La Fox, Illinois in October. So this is lecture format. You can attend either online from home on Zoom, or you can do an in-person watch party here at Renfrew where we put it up on the big screen and we're all masked and distanced. We can take 20 people for that. It's $5 for non-members and free for members. Our community favorite summer concert series are back. We actually did hold most of our scheduled concerts last year, thankfully. We do have a lineup of, I believe, 12 different performances for 2021, lots of different genres. And we have adjusted the time a little bit. So those of you who are regular concert attenders, usually we were starting at 7 o'clock. We will be starting at 6:30 now. Just because, again, Renfrew is so dark. We want to make sure that people get out safely. So we're just backing it up about a half hour. But it's a great time to just bring a lawn chair. And again, we can distance, we can spread out. And it's just a wonderful community event to enjoy music in the museum yard every Thursday night. Something that is new to Renfrew, but a little bit of a twist on a former program that we were offering is our Farmstead Taste and Tour. So those of you who are regular participants or members at Renfrew might remember our Farmstead Teas and Tours. This was a program that was offered previously where you could come for tea in the wagon shed and then do a tour, and kind of consulting with the staff, we found that we want to bring back all of our programming interpretation to the core of our agricultural heritage, the Royer history. And so we've revamped this to be the Farmstead Taste and Tour. It's a 3-course seasonal tasting experience in the wagon shed. So it's a custom menu that's been developed for us in partnership with Keystone Family Restaurant. They're a great partner for us. And it offers guests the opportunity to sample seasonal, locally sourced fare inspired by the traditions of our historic Pennsylvania German farmstead. So for March, we had really great response. We can take up to 18 people, again, socially distanced. We're seating in family groups or consenting groups of mixed parties. And we had 12 folks sign up for the 2 March dates. They had cream asparagus soup. They had a wonderful seasonal salad, a trio of sandwiches. They went on the tour and then they came back for dessert. And between each course, we offer commentary on why the food was selected, how it relates back to the way that people would have been eating in the early 19th century. And it's a history lesson in addition to lunch at Renfrew. And so people really enjoyed it. We've got some spaces left throughout the year. We're offering it again in August on 2 dates, and then in December on 4 different dates. So it would make a great holiday gift for your family if you're interested in giving them a new experience at Renfrew. And then Renfrew on the Road, I mentioned this a little while ago. We are being very intentional about outreach to build our audiences. You know, we are Waynesboro's backyard. We are Waynesboro's best kept secret, treasure jewel of the community, but we shouldn't hide it. We've got to share it, right? So we want to go out and tell other people about how great Renfrew is and share it with the world. So one of the things that we're doing that relates back to our period foodways program is attending the Waynesboro Farmers Market 4 times this year. We'll be bringing our heirloom produce that's being grown in our historic gardens as it's available, so that people can have an opportunity to purchase historic vegetables at an affordable price. And that also goes back into supporting our historic foodways program here at Renfrew. Handmade items in our gift shop, different things, so that we can get out in the community, show them everything that Renfrew has to offer, and hopefully draw them onto site. We do have a collection of Civil War artifacts in our collection, as well as our beautiful Pennsylvania Kentucky long rifles. And we have attended several Civil War shows in the last couple years since I've come on staff, and that's been really well received. So we're going to continue that to try to draw interest from other audiences to our long rifle and Civil War collections here at Renfrew. So we'll be attending the Gettysburg Civil War shows both in the summer and the fall. if they're putting it on, fingers crossed, we'll be at Fairfield's annual Pippin Fest. That's an easy one because I can just spill out my front door and set up for Renfrew. And we did that the first year that I worked here, and it worked out really well. Again, trying to reach audiences beyond the mountain, bring them, draw them into Waynesboro to support Renfrew, but then also our local economy, because obviously we have so much to offer in Waynesboro. And then look for us on visits and partner programs with other historic sites, businesses, and Friends of Renfrew. We've already done some virtual programming with the library downtown, the Alexander Hamilton Free Memorial Library. We did a bedtime story for them. Hopefully some of you caught it. And we'll be doing some work with Sous Chefs, which is the children's cooking nonprofit that's just been formed. So a lot of cool stuff happening, and we'll be on the road. Look for that hashtag Renfrew on the road on our Facebook and Instagram pages. Oktoberfest is another signature program here at Renfrew Museum and Park. Many of you attended when we were downtown. We've brought that back to our site, and the first time we hosted that here at Renfrew was last year in September. It was a huge success. Now, under COVID conditions, we did have to kind of scale back a little bit. We were only allowed to have 250 people at a time. So we offered 2 different entries, and we were very responsible and careful about how we were doing that. But it was great. We had, I think, we didn't reach our max, but at the first session, I think we had about 180 people and maybe about the same amount the second. But this year, with restrictions loosened a little bit, still do this very safely and responsibly, but we're looking forward to an even bigger Oktoberfest. We do have family activities. Our tagline for Oktoberfest is a family-friendly celebration of history and the harvest. So we're combining, again, that agricultural theme of harvest with the history of the site, but we've got, you know, great German food, a beer garden with local beers on tap, and a silent auction fundraiser, tours of the museum house, retail and food vendors. So we're really looking to grow Oktoberfest this year to become one of Renfrew's signature programs. And that's going to be September 18th from 12 to 7. And then our calendar of events really culminates with Christmas on the Farm. And this was another program in 2020 that had to be revamped because of the regulations and guidance from the CDC, so that we could keep people distanced and safe. Again, I was really impressed by our volunteers and staff. Great planning went into this program, and we, over the course of 3 days, responsibly welcomed 1,000 visitors to Renfrew Museum and Park. So we were really impressed with the response that we received. We have revamped Christmas on the Farm a little bit to bring it back to a historic experience. When people walk through the house, they're getting content about holiday celebration throughout the 19th century. They're getting, you know, experiences with wagon rides, with smells and music. And it's a really wonderful sensory experience, kind of transporting you back in time. And for those of you who supported us during Christmas on the Farm and attended, thank you. I hope you had a great time and that you'll join us again and tell your friends. And then I just wanted to include, as I conclude, ways that you can get involved at Renfrew this season through supporting, advocating, and joining us. The easiest way that you can support Renfrew Museum and Park is just visit us regularly and enjoy everyone's favorite farmstead. Just enjoy it. It's this great gift that Emma Nicodemus left to our community, and that's one of the best ways that you can support us. Like and share our page on Facebook and Instagram. We always have cool stuff, features and pictures and all kinds of good stuff to keep you up to date here at Renfrew. We do encourage you, if you want to really have kind of firsthand knowledge of what's happening at Renfrew, become a friend of Renfrew. That's our membership program. And then we also have Park Pals membership, which is for dogs. So we ask that you register your dog and come and walk your pet here, but then we also offer some fun activities just for Park Pal members. We have volunteer opportunities in a variety of areas, no matter your interest. We just had our volunteer info sessions March 10th, but we're looking for folks to help with groundskeeping, with building preservation, with tours, with anything you can think of. Cleanup days, if you like being outside, if you like being inside, we've got work for you to do here at Renfrew. We are a very small staff. We've got 4 people running this 107-acre site on behalf of the borough of Waynesboro, trying to do our very best for the community. And we can't do it without our volunteers. So if you have any time that you can give to Renfrew, we would really, really appreciate it. And other ways that you can support us is by attending our program and special events as you're able to, sharing Renfrew with others, spreading the word about this wonderful resource here in Waynesboro. And then if you're able to help us financially, we are looking to grow the Renfrew Endowment to help us with a sustainable stream of revenue, and then giving financially to operations, special initiatives, and other things that we have coming up. And one thing that we have going on right now is our Clear the Coops fundraiser. So this is a springtime challenge. We're trying to raise $5,050, which is 100 gifts under $100. So it's an online fundraiser opportunity. If you go to renfrewmuseum.org/clearthecoops, you can learn more about that, or feel free to call me or email me. I'll tell you more. So that's what's going on in a nutshell. There's a lot. But I'm very happy to entertain questions. And again, all of you, thank you for supporting Renfrew. Thank you for supporting me in this role as their executive director. You've all been so kind, and really looking forward to doing great things in 2021.